Hey guys, back for part 2 of this session. We're back with Mord in this game. Anyways, so, let me get this open. So, as you begin to step within the port town of Samaka, Maka, you know?
hmm
Did I? Okay, yeah. Port town of Samaka.
Would you
Go ahead.
would you say I would get like all my health back and all my spell slots
Yeah,
back
it's
during
been it's
this
been a, it's
combat?
been a few days, so yeah.
Okay,
Um,
just want to
as
double check with you.
as you begin to pass through the streets of Samaka upon the sand glider that you and Suri now have. Um, Before that, as you approached the town, as the sun rose, the first thing that caught your eye was the majestic lighthouse at the edge of the harbor. Standing tall and proud, adorned with strange hieroglyphic and archonic carvings and intricate murals depicting scenes of some sort of mythology. You see this beautiful water and this woman standing in its this you can't really make them all out because your perception's pretty low, but you see some scenes depicted upon it.
Hmm.
The lighthouse, as you're looking at it from this distance, does look like a woman from the backside that's wearing a toga with this long hair, who's holding a large pot on her head that seems to be open forward, and that's where the light is coming out of. The town itself is a picturesque scene, with sandstone buildings and stone buildings, of course, featuring columns and obelisks reminiscent of Egyptian type architecture. Vibrant murals depicting scenes of daily life and ancient rituals. What the fuck? Hold on, is this the right one? I know I had. Give me a second. No, I seem to have scrolled all the way up where it wasn't supposed to be. Let's see here. The fuck? Did I redo this shit? Hold on. I have like 15 here. Uh. Okay, sorry. I have the enhancement right here. I was using ChatGPT for this town a long time ago, and I didn't realize I had so much fucking written down. Um, as you approach the port town of Samaka, the enchanting scene unfolds before your eyes. The majestic lighthouse, now pulsating with a soft, otherworldly glow in this early dim light, not only serves as a beacon for sailors, but also stands as a symbol of the town's magical affinity. The hieroglyphic carvings and runes on the lighthouse seem to dance with ethereal light as the light of the sun touches it, depicting tales of what the fuck? Depicting ancient tales and that are intertwined with magical creatures that have become a part of local folklore. The sandstone buildings shimmer with a subtle magical aura as you approach the town, and the columns and obelisks within it aglow with enchanted runes create a mystical skyline. Vibrant murals, now animated with magical illusions, showcase not only daily life, but also scenes of spellbinding rituals performed by the town's mages. The market stalls, which you can see are starting to open up at this time of day as you pass through the town, are adorned with floating luminescent orbs, as well as some caught inside of glass orbs themselves and hung by string, casting a magical radiance on exotic goods and artifacts that tell stories of distant magical realms. As you pass through the town, the sounds you hear, there's a symphony of sounds in the port town of Samaka. Uh, there's a symphony of them. This symphony of sounds is a harmonious blend of the mundane and the mystical. The rhythmic harmony of waves against the docks resonates with the town's magical energies, creating a soothing melody. Ships creak with whispers of ancient secrets, and seagulls' calls are accompanied by the echoes of mythical creatures that may linger in the shadows. The lively chatter of merchants in the bustling market square, which is starting to pick up, is punctuated by bursts of magical laughter, adding an enchanting layer to the ambient noise. Traditional Egyptian music, I don't know what that sounds like. I think it's string instruments like a ding 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 kind of shit. Now interwoven with the mystical melodies, emanates from street performers playing enchanted instruments, creating an ethereal soundtrack that seems to echo through the narrow streets. And let me get the actual soundtrack I was going to use for this playing, actually. I'm waiting for this to load now. Up, up, up. There it is. copy / stop, I believe it is. That didn't give me the / play. Inputs. Chiron's back. I didn't notice him join.
Don't mind me.
Just listening in.
Okay. So, where was I? Through the narrow streets. As you pass through on your sand glider, you catch glimpses and smells of this town. The air in the port town of Samaka is a rich tapestry of scents, blending the familiar with the mystical. The scent of salt water mingles with the earthly aroma of ancient stone structures, creating a refreshing, there we go, and grounding base. As you pass by the market, the aromas of exotic spices, perfumes, and even incense become more enticing, now carrying the faint undercurrent of magical energies that seem to pass throughout the town. Street vendors offer not just ordinary bread, but loaves infused with aging magical properties to help them not age as fast, emitting an enticing sparkle as well with each breath. What the fuck? Okay, so that was weird. Sorry, I'm using ChatGPT to create a brief scene here. The aroma of grilled fish, accompanied by an enchanting blend of herbs and spices, transports you to another realm. The sweet scent of lotus flowers, believed to have magical properties, weaves through the air, enchanting those who inhale its fragrance in these parts. Upon the smells and the wind of this port town, you begin to taste. The culinary delights in the port town of Samaka are quite an exquisite fusion of local and magical flavor. The honeyed pastries removed to bring good fortune now carry an otherworldly sweetness that lingers on the palate. Spiced meats, said to carry the flavors of ancient spells, tantalize the taste buds with a symphony of exotic spices. Fresh fruits, believed to have magical properties themselves, not only nourish, but also impart a vitality that seems to resonate with the mystical energies of the town. Hibiscus tea, transformed to a potion brewed with ancient herbs, provides a sensory journey, offering glimpses into the mystical realms with each sip. As you doff the, you don't step through the town, so you wouldn't really know a lot of this touch here, so give me a second. Yeah, never mind. As you pass through, you just reach down and you touch a few silks as you pass by. A few of these tapestries just feel very soft in your hands. The people of the port town of Samaka seem to exude a sense of unity and reverence for the mystical elements woven into their daily life. You see a few locals that seem to be just snapping their fingers, and these strange orbs appear around them to create a little bit more light as the sunlight is still coming up. You see some of them snap their fingers and lift heavy boxes onto another pile of boxes. You see others summon a steed upon them to carry a cart. To carry carts for them.
It's like a city of mages.
Adorned in garments enhanced with enchanted weaves, move through the streets with an air of both familiarity and wonder. Communal rituals, you see rituals of communal individuals, normal commoners, that seem to be at the shrine of the Azure Tide. You would know, you wouldn't see this. You know that communal rituals at the shrine of the Azure Tide bring together the townsfolk, reinforcing their deep connection to Aquatara, which is the water goddess of this town. Festivals marked by magical performance and shared feasts celebrate the town's unique blend of ancient Egyptian traditions and mystical enchantment. Well, not ancient Egyptian, I don't know why that's written in there, but ancient traditions and mystical enchantments. Though there doesn't seem to be a huge festival going on at the moment, you do see some individuals from the church themselves on a few individuals of the church that are seemingly holding a small little celebration in one of the small areas, the small circles in the center of the town. You can hear some beautiful harp. You can hear some beautiful viol and other instruments being played within. You know that artisans craft magical artifacts inspired by local myths and the townsfolk proudly display these treasures in their homes as symbols of their shared cultural heritage and devotion to the water goddess. The community's commitment to balance and harmony with the sea and as well as magic is evident in each aspect of their daily life, creating a vibrant and spiritually rich atmosphere in the port town of Samaka. As you continue to walk through, you see many wonders that this town does just innately. You see individuals casting spells. You see multiple people with runic markings upon their body that seem to be just casting spells to go about their daily life that even apprentices in the capital would not be able to really learn for like a year or two into their studies. This town seems to be more magically adapted than most that you have seen before. Even in Borenton, the capital of this region, or the city of this region, the people that own this region, there's not, even though there's a lot of mages there's not this many that are using it in their everyday lives. So it seems that this culture and populace is interwoven with magic, we'll say. As you continue to pass through, you see your ally, your devilish ally, seemingly entering this large building as he brings the others in. You see other people, you see this woman dancing around as music passes by her ears, and she seems to be twirling and dancing along the streets. As you pass by, she looks towards you and throws a small flower, this beautiful blue and white kind of rose-looking flower, onto your ship, and continues to dance along as you see a small band marching through the street that you're traveling upon on these cobbled roads. They're seemingly shooting off these party poppers. Streamers are hung upon the sides of the road. Seems you may have just missed the end of the end of a festival, or the beginnings of the festival are beginning. You're unsure. You do know of the many temples in the town as well. But anyways, let's see here. As you continue, you eventually come to the docks of Samaka, where you see these large docks stretch out into the sea. You can see they stretch hundreds of feet into the sea. Many ships are lined up upon these docks. Many fishing ships you can see out in the sea themselves, as the beautiful sea just like an aquamarine color just seems to shift and change very peacefully. You can see what looks like marine life that swims. You can see large pieces of corals affixed to a large cliff that resides to the right of Samaka, just outside of its walls. Samaka is I forgot to mention this in the description, but it does, Samaka comes down from the large cliffside. There's this large, like, what do you call it? Not hill, it's like a... Slope, yes, there's this large slope, and there's, Samaka is built near a beach, but not on the beach. Its docks are built on the beach. And there are two large cliff faces to the right and left of Samaka, and you can see large pieces of vegetation and greenery that grow off of them. You can see people jumping off some of these cliff faces, the hundreds of feet down into the water. You can see them come up and go, "Oh, my back!" Because it's a large fucking jump. You can also see in these cliff faces, there's been some tunnels dug out where people are like camping out, or even lower on the spectrum, jumping off. You can see large coral reefs and beautiful scenery as you walk upon these docks as they creak under your feet. You can see many sailors coming through with crates, bringing them off ships, bringing them on ships. You can see many fishers who are bringing large sacks of fish into the city, or into the port town. As Surrey looks around, he pulls out a small map of the town. He's just reading over it, and he goes, "The western dock, there, central dock." And he starts to walk down one of the docks, and you see this beautiful ship before you. This, at the very edge, this blackened wooded hull of a ship, with these beautiful silver-lined, silver-topped railings that go around the entire thing. You see at the front is this lizard folk statue carved on the front of it that holds a hammer that creates the front of the ship itself. You see the sails are intricately carved and crafted. There's studs placed in them with large iron strips to give it more tactical, sturdiness. The sails are these beautiful white sail. Well, no, they would be black sails, and you see this beautiful green hammer with a flame behind it on the sail, and it glows even in this daylight, just faintly. Um, and you see Surrey begins to approach it as he walks towards the gangplank. You could see this dwarven individual talking to a few of the dock hands here. And he looks over towards Surrey. Surrey! There you are! We were wondering when you'd get here! And you see Surrey just approaches him. Well, it's been a while. I apologize. I was, doing right by me. That's good to hear. Well, we chart off, tomorrow morning, so you should get your affairs in order. He looks towards you. Hello?
Hey, sorry. I hear you're about to head off on another adventure. Um, I'm. When do you think your ship will be back?
I don't know. We travel quite a long distance. We travel to and from different continents. Why?
This this town here, I'm looking to leave it, but for right now, there's some things I would like to learn. I see. I'm trying to. Let me see.
That's who you're talking to, by the way.
Gotcha. I'm not talking to Surrey.
Uh, no, Surrey, the dwarf looked towards you and started talking to you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Sorry, my bad. Uh,
Oh, sorry, my friend. This is, Delthor. Dwarven Smith, used to be the first mate of the sailing smith here, but, our Captain Bemin went missing a few years ago, so he's taken over the ship, while he's gone.
well, congratulations on your promotion, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Um, would Sorry, I turned to him and Mr. Delthor. Would would either of you be able to point me in a direction to where I might be able to get some temporary work, or and maybe a place to stay for a bit?
Delthor speaks up at this point. I think there's a I believe there's a adventurers guild here in town that takes on the jobs. There's also a mercenaries guild. Actually, no, I don't think they work out this far. Never mind the mercenaries guild. I know there's one in Riverton. There's an adventurers guild out here. That's what you're looking for. Otherwise, there's like ship hands, stuff like that. There's also a few mages in town. You could probably go to the. And he goes, wait a second. He pulls out a small book and he starts to look. Well, there's the Shrine of the Azure Tide, Sapphire Sanctum, if you will. Over there around the middle of town. A lot of religious folk there. They worship the water goddess here.
Huh. Okay. I appreciate the information. I wish you all best on your travels too. And Suri, if I do not see you again, I'm gonna reach out my hand to him, and as to offer to shake it. It's been an honor to serve alongside you.
I'd like you to make me a persuasion check.
Oh wow. Oh shit. Persuasion. Rolls 1d20 plus 2. 4.
4?
Yep.
He looks towards you, nods. It was good working with you. And he just walks up the gangplank and leaves you.
Look at my hand and
Delthor looks
bring
to
it
you.
back.
You must have really pissed him off.
I think I did.
Well then, we leave tomorrow, so if you need anything from us, let us know beforehand. Good to meet you. And he walks away.
I'm going to look at them and watch them leave. I'm gonna think to myself, I am alone in this massive city. Well, might as well go check out the I want to go check out the shrine first. Um, Head towards there and see if I can try and maybe pick up maybe an apprenticeship with these magic casters because they all seem to be so fucking prevalent with it, and I could learn a ton just by staying here for a bit.
Maybe you're not sure about that, but
Maybe
yeah. Anyway, so you're gonna go check out the what first?
the shrine
Sure.
to their gotcha
Aquatara, yeah,
Aquatar.
yeah. So as you approach, let's see here. As you approach the shrine of Aquatara, the Azure Tide, shrine of the Azure Tide, the Sapphire Sanctum. Um, the primary religious building here, dedicated to Aquatara. The shrine that you could see in the center of the, well, not in the center, but near the center of the city, is constructed from locally sourced blue-veined marble, giving it a striking appearance reminiscent to the rolling waves. The sanctuary is the sanctuary. From this point, you could hear the sound of soothing and trickling water from a central fountain. And as you approach, the air seems to be infused with the refreshing scent of sea salt. As you approach and enter into the shrine, the interior walls are adorned with intricate mosaics depicting scenes of marine life and Aquatara's benevolent influence on the town. Stained glass windows cast a soft azure glow, creating an ethereal atmosphere within the shrine. Devotees can witness the play of lights and shadow on the goddess's sculptures as natural sunlight filters through the aquatic-themed stained glass. The rhythmic sound of waves artificially generated by concealed mechanisms or concealed enchantments creates a calming backdrop for prayers and ceremonies. Soft hymns sung by the temple choir harmonize with the gentle rustling of palm fronds that decorate the exterior, enhancing the feeling of being embraced by the goddess's watery realm. The smell, fragrant floral arrangements, particularly those of water lilies and coastal blooms, are strategically placed throughout the shrine as you continue to walk through its halls, infusing the air with a delicate and fresh aroma. The scent of burning candles, often shaped like seashells, adds to the sensory experience, creating an environment that invites devotion and contemplation. As you walk through, devotees participating in rituals often partake in communal offering of salted water, symbolizing Aquatara's blessing of unity and community, as you see a few that seem to take from some of these pools off to the side of some of these halls as one of the higher priests, well, not higher priest, but one of the priests seems to be reading rites through a book, and you don't want to interrupt them as you watch them drink out of some seashells and whatnot. Additionally, the shrine occasionally hosts communal feasts, which you can hear individuals talking about, featuring dishes prepared with locally sourced seafood, you would assume, celebrating the town's connection to the goddess of the sea. As you continue to walk through, you begin to touch the walls and everything else in this place as much as you can. The cool touch, the blue-veined marble, is a sensory reminder of the goddess's calming influence. As you touch it, the coolness seems to push into your hand, and unlike the Dunek region, which was a bit hotter recently, it feels nice. Worshippers often you see worshippers at the moment engaging in a tactical experience by dipping their fingers into a central fountain in the central foyer, and they seem to be dipping their fingers in and then splashing it on their faces, anointing themselves with blessed water. Intricately carved benches adorned with representations of the waves of marine life seem to sit within this area, and as you sit down for a second, you see others sitting down in contemplation or even in prayer. Give me 1 second. Okay, so as you continue to walk through, what are you looking for?
I am looking for anyone who's not busy with something, or might be able to make time. I want to ask them about an apprenticeship in order to hone my magical capabilities. Um, Perhaps maybe learn a language or two.
Okay. Give me a second. So, as you ask around, you are pointed towards one of the offices in the back, or one of the rooms in the back, as you're led by Sarah, one of the lower individuals in the temple, one of the newer ones, probably came here the last year or so, they would say. They begin to lead you through the halls, and as the blue stained windows seem to pour in this blue light, you can almost see it moving like the sea itself. Eventually, you get to a back room that just stops, and you see a door. This beautiful door that seems to have this um, wood that almost seems like it was picked up from a ship at the bottom of the sea. There's a bit of rot to it that's been, but this door has been laminated. You see these beautiful cast iron rusted hinges that are placed upon the door. You see this beautiful handle that's not really a handle, it's just a circle that hangs on the door to pull open. The door stands about 20 feet tall and it looks heavy as shit.
Holy shit.
As Sarah looks to you, well then, you'll be able to speak to the High Tide Master beyond this door. This is their place of worship, their sanctum. So I would ask you to respect them. Their name is Sifena Nahara.
Safena Nahara. Give me one sec.
They are a wise spiritual leader in these parts. The headmaster of the Azure Tide.
High Tide Master. Okay. I'm gonna nod to her and say, I really appreciate this help. Thank you.
Well then. As she ushers towards the door, she knocks on it, and you see her pull open the door and ushers you in. Do you step in?
I do, and I nod to her saying thank you.
Give me a second. Continue.
I'm going to kind of look around to see if I can spot him and try and do it quietly so as to not interrupt him if he's like praying or if he's working on something.
Okay, give me a second. Sorry, I forgot to do this because I didn't expect you to go to the fucking church, so I'm just putting it in chat GPT right now.
I apologize.
Using as much detail in the 5 senses as possible. Anyways, so as the door closes behind you, and it's gonna change what it looks like, but it doesn't matter. As you push through the door, you have to push past this rich azure-hued tapestry, embroidered with intricate depictions of aquatic life and swirling currents. As you do, you push past it, and upon entering, the room unfolds as a sanctuary of divine connection. The walls are adorned with luminescent murals depicting the goddess Aquatara in various serene and powerful poses. Her eyes seemingly follow the movements of you as you continue to move. The ceiling is a masterful display of enchanted seashells that softly glow, casting a gentle and calming light over the room. In the center lies a handcrafted altar of blue-veined marble, featuring a delicate waterfall sculpture representing the eternal flow of the sea. As you step in, the room is dark, and the only light comes from the soft, faint bluish glow from the seashells above. As you enter, you see... Give me a second here. Okay. As you enter, you see standing by this altar as a few candles burn, and seemingly on their knees in a prayer-like position with a reliquary in their hands, a wise and old, kind of venerable-looking figure, carrying upon her these cerulean blue robe-like vestments adorned with intricate sea motifs, symbolizing their role probably as the spiritual leader of the Azure Tide. You see this relatively old-looking human, but with like a bluer tinted skin, this beautiful sea green hair, and as you enter, as you begin to approach a bit closer, you could get the smell of sea salt off them or sea breeze. You recognize this immediately as one of the Aquar people, which are a Dorathian human subtype.
Cool.
As they finish this prayer, which you don't understand, they stand up and turn around, and as their eyes open, you see Sefenra's eyes reflecting the depths of the ocean, holding profound wisdom earned through only years of devotion to what you assume would be Aquatara. These beautiful deep blues. As they stare at you. How may I help you, child? This female woman stands before you.
I'm going to bow my head and look to her and look back up and say, I am new to the city and I am in search of guidance and the arcane arts. And I was hoping you could direct me to someone who would be able to loan out their time so as to teach me.
Give me a second to think, please.
No rush, no rush. I'm gonna hold my hands like saying like, hey, that's not a big deal, man. Like, you know. I'm going to look around the room. There wouldn't have to be like any like aquariums or anything like that in the temple, would there?
Give me a second. This private sanatorium, or sanctum, sorry. There's a few that seem to spread around the room, almost in this like circular chamber, on the opposite wall from where you entered.
I'm not gonna move from my spot. I'm just gonna kind of just still be facing her, but kind of give like a side eye, watching the wildlife that's in there, seeing if any catch my eye, and if they do, might take a note of. Probably try and sketch that up later on in my spell book.
As you start to look and sketch some stuff down, I believe there is, yes. I have contacted a few of them already, and there are two that I know of course, that I'm in contact with. There is Archmage Irsat Alamaru, IRSAT. Second name is AL-MAHRU. Irsat Almaru.
Okay.
He is the Archmage of the town. He came here quite a while ago and has studied the strange magics of the ocean here, and is known for teaching many of the, coming to the schools that exist within town and teaching a little bit of magic to those that live here. There's also Sorceress Celine of the Silver Sands. Kind of a mysterious woman. I don't know much about her. Though I don't know about the Archmage. The Sorceress would be willing to lend you time if you would be able to. It'd be more like a master-apprentice kind of, not slave, but how do I say?
Servant. I'll be your student?
Servant.
Oh, servant. You
would do tasks for her, and she would reward you with teaching you some magic.
Do you think she might be able to provide potential, I guess, lodging as well?
Possibly. You'd have to ask her yourself, though. I can write you an introduction.
I would be very grateful.
Alright, well. Give me some time. Go ahead and continue to sketch the fishes. I will Be back in a second.
I'm like, oh, was that? I guess it was that noticeable. I'm going to nod and then try and find a spot to sit down as I'm resume sketching them up. Um, Going in, would I have noticed any type of like donations box or a place where people would just toss coins that would be later collected by the church, by the
The
temple?
fountain, the central fountain.
All right. Before I actually leave here, I want to toss some like 3 gold coins in there.
Okay,
So I'm just gonna
give me a
go ahead
second.
and
You're still here in the room waiting for her to return.
yeah.
Outside and inside. Great detail. Pay attention. Five sentences. Okay. Anyways, so whatever the fuck her name is. Sorry, I can't fucking pronounce this name, bro. I can understand why my players hate it now.
Hey.
Safrina comes back eventually with a small piece of paper and hands it to you. This should serve as an introduction to Sorceress Celine. Um, you can find her nestled near the outskirts of the port town of Samaka. Um, how do I say? It's an iridescent seashell on the beach. Well, sorry, that's not correct. You'll be follow the iridescent seashell path and you'll find her.
Follow path. Okay. I'm going to take the note, and nod my head.
Hello?
That I really appreciate this kindness. Hello,
I can hear you now.
testing,
Sorry,
testing. You hear
sorry. You
me?
just like you
Okay.
went.
So I'm gonna nod my head and head off. So tell her thank you, and then I'm gonna nod off and head towards the central fountain, telling her thank you for the kindness. I'm gonna drop 3 gold coins into the fountain, and question. So where am I keeping the head?
I don't know. Where are you keeping that? I assume you just
Because
fixed it to like your. I assume you left it on the sand glider or something, right?
yeah, I'll probably do that. Like somewhere where it's not gonna be touching anything.
Yeah. You like
That
hung
would
it.
decay too fast.
You like hung it by like a steel chain or something.
Yeah, I'm assuming that's gonna take some time to rust away rather
Mhm.
than leather.
Mhm.
Um. Okay, and then it's still in the glider. He loaned that to me because he's going on a trip.
In his favorite rocket
Um.
ship. I'm sorry. In his favorite sailing smith, soaring through the
Uh.
seas.
Actually, I could Do you think I could actually just crash in the sea in the sand glider?
You can, but there's the guard's gonna have a question for you, like, why is this parked in the middle of fucking town?
Or can I just go to like the outskirts and crash in there?
Well, yeah, 100%. You can bum it.
All right. Because I don't want to be a burden on anyone. And plus I don't know how much it would cost to store that thing per month somewhere.
Yeah. So, as you eventually get the sand glider out of town, learning how to drive it somewhat. If it's normal, I'll have you drive it, but if it's like fast driving or trying to run for something, you're gonna have to make checks. But eventually, we get to the outside of town, and as you reapproach the head, you see it's just sitting there, and you can see like drool coming out of its mouth. Its like mouth is open, like taking bites at you, but it's hung up by like this chain that surrounds it.
You are still kicking. Okay. Could I cast Identify as a ritual on her to see what she may or may not need?
So you would have to touch the head. You would have to touch the head for identification.
Oh, fuck.
Do you want to?
Shit. If I get zombie run, if I get the mummy run, I'm dead. I would probably have to ask around town see if they have a cure for that. I'm assuming this desert town with how magically
It's not really.
uh
It's not really a desert. Remember, you were in the Dunek
oh
region. That's why it was desert dunes.
Oh yeah, but this town with all the magic it has, and it's like next to the desert area, or like within, I guess, a couple days distance. They should have like some type of like magical cure. I want to go.
I'll say you would have asked the Tide Master, and they would
Uh huh.
inform you that they do have the ability to cast Greater Restoration, though it is one of the highest spells they can cast, and you need to make a donation to the church to have it happen.
How much?
Let's see, 5th level spell. It costs about 100 gold worth of diamond dust. It would cost you about 600
Fuck.
gold to have it.
Oh fuck. Shit. I can I try something?
Hmm. Sure.
I'm going to take my dagger
Mm-hmm.
and slice the tip of my finger and try and drip some blood into her mouth to see if that changes anything.
Okay. So as you think back on this, and you're like, you try to think back to the ritual that was being performed, because let's say your character's smart enough to realize that this creature is definitely an intelligent undead. However, it seems to be very zombie-like. It has this hunger to it, and as you start to think back to the ritual where blood was being provided to it, and there was one more sacrifice that was not sacrificed.
Oh no.
Um, the man
Dead
cut his arm
body.
off and raised the creature, but you get the feeling the ritual just from your base arcane, which I believe is like a 15 passive arcana.
Yeah, Arcana, so it'll be, yeah, I'll be 15.
Um, you get the feeling the ritual was not completed, and you get the feeling that the raising was completed, but the ritual was not fully completed. And as you drop some blood into the mouth of the creature, you see that hunger starts to fade just a tiny bit from the eye. You get the
Okay.
feeling it's going to require a little bit more blood, but it's possible.
Oh.
If you would like to make a medicine check, you can attempt to. A medicine or arcana check, you could attempt to determine the amount of blood you would need.
I'll probably just go Arcana.
Arcana. Okay. Go ahead.
+5. Come on, give me some. Give me some. Give me some. 24.
24. You put it to about a pint of blood, which would normally kill a child. Which you start to think,
Oh.
oh, that's what it was. They were raising the mummy, and then they were going to feed it the child. Okay. So you start to picture it's probably going to cost about a pint of blood, which an adult human could probably give, but there would be exhaustion. I would say you'd probably get a point of exhaustion for doing it, if you wanted to do
Could.
so.
Okay. How's the chain holding up?
The chain, so you have fixed like a square, like you've made the chain look like a pyramid around the creature's head, and it's like bondaged up there. You can see after a few hours, because that's what it's been, the chain has rusted slightly, but it's going to take a bit more time. It'll probably take a few more days before the chain fully breaks.
Breaks. Okay, a few more days. That should be fine. Okay, so plan is so what I basically want to. I'll probably want the full day for this. I still have the healing potion, so what I'm gonna do is I am going to slit my wrist,
Mm-hmm.
have the healing potion in hand, and then let about a pint, I guess, pour onto her.
Okay. So, really quickly, healing potions don't heal blood. Neither do magical healing.
Well,
It
they were
just
close to
covers the
the
wound.
wound, right?
It just covers the wound,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, that'd be fine.
So, as you slit your wrist, go ahead and make me a medicine check, which is intelligence.
Okay, so just be a +3 then.
Mm-hmm.
20 +3. 19.
Okay. It doesn't take you too long, and you eventually do finish and heal your wound. As you see, the blood just pours into its mouth, a little bit like dribbles out the sides, but You watch as like its mouth just closes up for a second. That green glow disappears and its eye closes, and the hair just blows in an ever-present wind. It seems to either be asleep or you're not sure what is happening, but its eyes are closed and it doesn't seem to be moving anymore.
I'm going to. Would since I just slit my wrist, would I just like to sip some of the potion in order to close it up,
You have
or would I
to
have to like
if
drink
you
the whole thing?
if you're talking about the well, it's a basic healing potion, so you have to down the whole
Yeah.
thing.
All right, I'll just down the whole thing. And then I'm going to use Mage Hand to kind of like grab the head and kind of give it a light jostle. It's like, hello, can you understand me?
Give me a second. Okay. As you jostle the head, like you touch it, and you're afraid to do it for a second, but like as you touch it, you look to your hands and there's no rot happening at the moment.
Oh, I was using Mage Hand.
Oh, Mage Hand. I didn't hear that. My bad.
Yeah, Mage Hand.
You jostle it, and the head is still unalive, which means, undead. And you could tell that it is alive, but you watch as both eyes open, and the left eye, which had been the only source of green glow, the right eye now glows green as well, as the mouth remains closed. It seems whatever ritual has happened is starting to complete as you start to watch these green runes, similar to the ones that came flying out of the cracks in the ground, start to appear around it and start to affix to the head as you start to watch the neck stump starts to glow green and it starts to elongate as shoulders start to appear.
As this happens, I'm slowly taking some steps back, making it towards like the exit is towards my back, like just in case shit goes awry, I can like try and dip out.
Yeah, as the shoulders begin to finish, you start to see the rest of the body starts to appear at the moment. Mind you, not clothed, as it is completely green light is just covering everything at the moment. After about a minute, you see the body, which is bunched up at the moment, the head still hanging on the chains. The glow disappears as the green runes push into the body, and you can see these tattooed green runes of ancient script that run up from the... Well, sorry. They seem to surround almost like a lattice around the middle finger on each hand, and seem to rush up and spiral around the arm, all the way up the shoulders, up the necks on both sides, all the way to the eyes, and they turn into the eyes and stop. As she sits there, you see the chains like pull a bit because they're affixed to wood, and this body, which is probably like 180 pounds, just appeared. And you see the legs twitch and move as the eyes open once again, and the creature stands.
Okay. So
Bare
I
naked,
know.
titties
All
out.
right, so is she? She's like decrepit, right? She looks like a mummy, like without bandages, correct?
Looking at her, she seems to be sallowed like a mummy, kind of like a very gaunt human, but like brownish skin that seems to be grayish in more nature, less color, but more of a brown kind of color to it in the parts that you can tell color. So she looks kind of like a zombie, but not like torn open and like heavily decayed. Just looks like a mummy kind of shit. Yeah.
I would like to take off my coat, my robe, and I would kind of like to spread it open to kind of block my view, and slowly take it towards her, and I'm gonna say, can you understand me?
As you get within 10 feet of her, you like get pushed back by this invisible barrier. Where, as you hit it, you like pull the coat down, and you see this lattice-like barrier that's created that seems to shimmer for a second of these similar runes that are across her body. And you see in the very center of it is this diamond-like shape that seems to just stay in the air with this like strange heat wave that comes off of it, and there's just a central rune in the middle of it that is uncompleted.
Could I cast Identify on it? Try and touch the room.
Okay.
Or is that pat or the barrier? Is it diamond shaped behind the barrier, or is it
No, the
like at the
diamond
end?
shape is like in the barrier, like not behind, but like part of the barrier, like the very central focus. It seems.
Could I try touching it and cast Identify?
All right. So as soon as you touch it and push magic into it, you watch as the rune completes and the barrier, and you almost fall down for pushing inwards as you see her eyes open once again, and she stares down at you.
Um,
You hear a voice as the mouth opens as she starts to shine a bit more green. As you see the sallowed parts of her body start to fill out a bit more. The cheeks that were very pulled in tight start to fill out. That same coloration still stands on her body, but you see she becomes less decrepit, zombie-like, and more human filled out. As she stands there, you can see that she is quite beautiful, mind you. Very noble looking features. Her eyes are still gone, and there's only green glows there. And the tattooed runes seem to shimmer and pulse every so often. But she looks like a normal human with, like, very grayed but brownish skin that almost looks like ash.
I'm definitely,
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna offer her the. I'm definitely gonna offer her the robe now, and I'm saying, uh, I don't know if you remember me.
You do notice like her charred like lips and everything have now become very supple and like actual lips have formed.
Okay, so like, yeah, so my thinking is, I'm trying to see if she, maybe it was like she was in a zombified state, so she didn't really understand what she was doing, and maybe she might not know what happened on the pyramid.
As like having all these thoughts run through your mind, like you're holding the coat up, she grabs it and puts it on, and she looks down to you, and you hear, what languages do you speak?
I speak. Let's see, Common and Elvish.
Okay, you hear this deep, resounding speech that you've heard a few people speak in Durath, which you figure is primordial. Ishkuvan, sorry, Ishkuvan Ishkulof is Ilkuvan. She seems to see no recognition in your face. And then you hear this like choir of angels speaking as she speaks.
Um,
Switches from celestial to common. um, well, I know I am quite a sight, but it is rude to stare, master. And that's where we end the session.
Whoa.